Well, we got a job today. We are taking out an old culvert pipe that's clogged, and we're going to be filling that. We're going to be replacing that with a new culvert pipe, and then you can see the driveway. We need to grade it, and down here at the bottom you can see we need to build up this drive down here. So like on the right hand side you got these cedar trees, so we need to establish, there's a little bit of a swell or a ditch right over on that side, but we really got to get that established kind of over on this side as well, so the water can kind of hit the end of that last cedar tree and take off the other way. And better watch my boom here, I'm getting ready to hit a tree limb. But down here on the left, you can see the culvert pipe's clogged, and it's backing up over in the field over there. So we're just basically going to take out this old culvert pipe, and that way the water will flow. It'll come down this ditch here and from up by the street, and then this, we're going to add a lot of base to it and build it up and cut the edges down so the water can run off on the sides. And then also I've got the grading bucket, because we're going to, down this field here, you can see the swell. Got a spring up in there. I'm going to make sure I cut it so that that water from the area can run on down. But we're going to cut a swell so this water comes down to that other culvert pipe on the other side of the field, better than what it's doing now. So that's what we got going today. And then tomorrow we've got a lot of stone and stuff like that coming in. So I'm going to get the camera set up so we can get some footage and see if we can't open this up and let some of this water run out. Stay tuned. So yeah, it's a hack, but I don't have a trash pump, so this is all I had to work with was this little sump pump. So I've got the hose kind of draped over the tooth there, so to hold it up, I had to bring the generator out here so I'd have electricity to run the pump. But I wanted to get down as much of this water as possible so that I didn't have it all going through when I pull that culvert pipe out. So I'm going to get as much of the water out. I'll probably dip some of it out here a little bit. But I made a little coffer dam right there, all the way around. And then that'll keep all this water. There's a lot of water standing out here that haven't been able to make it through. So that'll keep all that water back until we get the new culvert pipe in. Then I'll take that out and clean it all up on this side so it'll go through no issue. And we got to take it around to over here and out that side, and then there's just a little, not even a ditch, it's just something that's dug out by a shovel, and I'm going to take the grading bucket and go through and cut a swell. And I'm actually going to start from here where this comes out and fill all that in, and kind of go more of a straight angle down the hill to that culvert pipe down there. And there's a spring right out there, and I had mentioned that earlier, but I'm going to cut a swell out to allow that to dry, to kind of drain off, and that'll let this area dry out more for me, because that probably, the grass probably doesn't get cut in that area during the summer. So it's slow going. Had to break through the ice today, and so that I can even get that water out of there. So we'll keep chugging along. We're already starting to grade the driveway on up the hill and cut the edges down, and it's starting to build that back up. So we're accumulating more dirt than we want to throw in here. I mean, you can see how high this side is. He used a shovel and kind of cut out on both sides so the water would drain out, because it was so low. Down here is really bad. So this I'll just grade out with the grading bucket. And I wish I could figure out another way I could be working on some of this other stuff if I didn't wait on this water to drain out. But I really don't want that going through. And kind of making everything mushy and gushy. I want a nice solid surface to put that new pipe on. So once we get that done, it should just be nothing but rocking and rolling at that point. Right now, we ain't got no action going on. What we're doing is just kind of pretty boring. A lot of this is base. It's got some dirt mixed in with it. Not a whole lot we can do about that, but there is some dirt mixed in with it. We're going to compact it in pretty good. But this side right here was up higher than probably the middle at one point. So we just kept working this side and kicking the material that way. And then we did an extreme kind of a cut, laid almost at probably a 75-degree angle or something. But it was filling in this spot right here, and we just kept back dragging it with a bucket. And then we used the compactor and kept packing it in. And so now he's just going back and forth again and cutting everything to the edge like we normally do. And then we're getting ready to start doing this one kind of back and forth in the center. So we cut up that center, and then we're going to spread all this out. So we're building up that middle so it's got a good crown. So yeah, it's kind of boring right now what we're doing, so we're not really videoing it. But once we get that crown in there, then we got a plate compactor. We'll just run up and down the hill, and we'll track it in first, you know, with the equipment. That's a lot easier than pushing that heavy plate compactor up and down this hill. But that's what we got going on. And then back at the culvert pipe, once I got the material ahead of the culvert pipe, or the, not material, but the water ahead of the culvert pipe, pumped out. The problem was that all the water that was in the culvert pipe was coming back out. And the culvert pipes are completely clogged. They're old concrete culvert pipes. So I'll toss those to the side, and maybe he can sell those and get some money back out of the new one. But we're going to put the new plastic pipe in, and rather than trying to clean out the other ones. And so that little poor man trash pump's working pretty well. But I don't know if you probably can't see it. It's too, but the water's coming back out of the culvert pipe, and I want to get as much of that out. My little dam I made over here is working good. I've been taking scoops of water out just to help the process along, but it's kicking it out that hose over there. So what we'll have to do next is we'll take this and dig it. I'm gonna have to cut that. It's a 20-foot pipe, so I'm gonna have to cut it, and then instead of going along and snaking it that way, we're just going to kind of make it more of a straight shot so the water flows better. And we'll fill in this stuff over here, and then we'll seed and straw everything when we're done. So we got that little middle section pretty well done there. So I think that the little middle section turned out well. And then what we'll do is I'm gonna cut the edges with the excavator, because I can just throw that stuff off to the side and kind of pack it in. And then we'll cut the middle like we always do here. And when we're done, we'll have this ready for the trucks tomorrow to start bringing in gravel. right, that's a wrap for day 1. We got day 2 tomorrow. This thing had a hump, 2 big humps on the outside edges there, and then basically 2 ruts where they drove the whole time. And so what we did is we kept kicking the material over to the center, and we built a crown here in the center, and it slopes off to both sides. And there's a little kind of ditch over here on this side, and we made it lower on this side because it was really high right in this point right there. So we cut a lot from that. That'll give the water a place to run where it comes off the drive, gets down here to the end of the trees where the SV40's sitting, and then it'll head off in down that way and catch up with the ditch that I had to dig. And I actually had to dig out a lot more ditch than I wanted to, and it's just pure mud. I almost got stuck out there. There's a spring out there, and I about got stuck. So we got the new culvert pipe in, and there's the old one. It's the old concrete one. I think it was only 12 inch and probably wasn't big enough to handle the water. But all the water that was over here, this is where I had my little dam, and this whole area was underwater. There's still some water sitting up there, but now this field can actually dry out and they can use it. And this ditch was all backed up, so that's all in there. So we were able to cut the edges more than I thought, and that's going to allow us to use less base material here. And I told the customer, with the money that I'm saving on the base, I can get some riprap, and we're going to put fabric down and riprap and kind of make a little head wall there to keep all that sand out. I said, otherwise you're going to end up getting clogged again like you did. It'll be a couple years, but all that. So tomorrow we got to grade all this mud out and thin it out so it can dry out. And the same for over here. And then I'm gonna break up the culvert pipes and actually stick them back there where he's got some other stuff. He'll be able to use those later. There's a culvert or something coming across from the road over there, and so I had to open this up to make sure, and I about got stuck there, and make sure that this is flowing. And it's just a constant stream of water coming down. I don't know if you can see that, but it heads off down that ditch. So I'm going to grade the sides out on this tomorrow, make it more of a gentle slope, a better ditch, not just a trench, and fill in this old one that he had going there. So now the water will come through the culvert pipe, head off down the ditch, and we'll cut a swell down there to the other culvert pipe on the other driveway. So we got all this compacted in, and it's just about all base. So, well, there's a lot of dirt in there too. But my GoPro died on me. I don't know what happened. I thought I had it charged up, so I got to double check that when I get home tonight so that I can get some footage of us tomorrow. But tomorrow we're pretty much running trucks and getting the base down. There was a huge lip at the drive there that the owner had a hard time, the car slopping down this road. And so we took material up there and packed it in and compacted it and got it going good here. So tomorrow we'll put base all along this area, and then come back on top of it with a couple inches of stone and get some riprap for the sides there, spread out the mud, and then we're gonna have to come back out because I don't want to tear the rest of his yard up. It is so wet down there, it's unbelievable. And just tracking through there, I was sinking. And so rather than tear up his yard, I'm gonna wait till like June or July, and we'll come back out and finish the job for him. So we got some cleanup tomorrow after we get the gravel on the base spread, but then we'll be good to go.